which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves. All nations.
Hello and welcome to Civilization 4! Now, this is going to be the start of a new series for Civilization. I've already got Civ 5 on the channel, so I thought it's time to go backwards a little bit to the last one in the series by the original owners, Civilization 4, Beyond the Sword. I've got both that and the first expansion, which the name escapes me. So I've got the latest expansion of Civ 4, of course. It came out back in 2005, if I recall correctly. Somewhere around there, so it's about a decade old, but it's still, for me, one of the best games there is. So basically, we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing on here as we do in Civ 5, except I'm going to run through it for those people who never played this before and want to see what it's like, to see how different it is. Because like I said, Civ 5 is by different owners. It's the same basic thing as Civ 5, except that you can have a few more features. You can even have custom music if you want to do during the game. There, I won't, because the music I have will probably complained at by copyright, so I'm not going to bother. So in this, we're just going to be set up a normal map. We have a lot of different map types in this, some good ones. And this is just the world. Now, the first thing to notice is, well, you've got all these empires. There's a good selection of empires, isn't it? How? You have more than one leader. Now, for America here, you've got possibly the obvious one, really. We've got Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt. Other empires like Carthage only have Hannibal. Rome only have 2. So it depends really. I think one Civ might have 4. I'm not sure about that. It's probably wrong. It's just me and my memory just going blur. But a few empires have 3. So like England, America, other things like Rome, the Ottomans have 2, and empires like Arabia and Carthage have just 1. So we're going to be going for Rome. And the bonuses are different as well, because everything is basically different in Civ 5 as it was in Civ 4. Now, I'm going to go as Augustus Caesar because, as you see, plus 50% wonder production. That's always good. Going over a wonder spend. Okay, there we go. Speed Forge, and 50% production faster setup. So I can expand a lot, and I can build some important wonders a lot faster. Now, of course, I can name my Civ. I think you're able to do that in the multiplayer version of this as well. You can't do that in Civ 5. They removed that ability, or they didn't think to put it in, rather. So I'm just going to name it to my empire, basically. I know, inside. I'll put my name in there. Yep, so we're going to go for it. Augustus Caesar, it's a Roman Empire. So it's not anymore, it's the Wee Empire. And we're going to go for... I don't want a marathon because that'll take too long. Let's go for epic, shall we? And let's go for warlord. I haven't played this a fair bit. I don't want to go normal. Normal's the balanced one. It's the normal. It's the normal difficulty. So we'll just go for warlord. And little interesting thing that'll come up in a second, which I'm going to leave on to show you, or maybe not. Yeah, there was supposed to be a cutscene there, but I think because of done it before, I don't know. Things are obviously different now. The first thing you'll notice is the fact that, well, it's tiles instead of hexagons. You've got actual, what's he called? Squares. Thank you. Shall we find it on a wheat field? The wheat, we'll still get it like in Civ 5. I'll still get the resource once I research agriculture. But I can't get it at the beginning. Either way, it'll save me a bit of time, and I'll have a bit of extra grassland over here as well. A few more trees. So yeah, let's settle here. First capital. I'm going to aim from Rome to Weary, so that's me. I'm sad. Now, another important thing to notice is, besides the obvious interface, is the fact that in order... Actually, no, I'll go through that one step at a time. For text, everything is different. In Civ 5, you have dividing lines of which area you have. Now, it's the same thing here, except it's not physically imposing. You can't actually physically see it on the sheet here, but you do advance through the things exactly the same way. It's just you don't know when. But I think it will discover it will do it, say, on the actual tech itself. Maybe at some point. Anyway, right now my goal would be theology, but I want to go for mysticism because I can build Stonehenges. Stonehenges? There's more than one Stonehenge. No, there isn't. Stonehenge, which could be a free monument in every city and a bit of culture, and it'll send to the world map, so it's always really good. But it is a warning, obsolete with astronomy. So later in the game, when I research this little doodad, it'll obsolete the Colossus, Stonehenge, and the monument because it's advanced tech. So you can build something early on, but it'll get obsolete with later techs, as you would probably expect really in anywhere. So we're going to go for Stonehenge first. Now, another thing to notice is the cultural borders. Unlike in Civ 5, where you will start with a seemingly random assortment of tiles, especially the Shoshone, because they can, you know, basically start with a huge amount of tiles, and it can be pretty much anything. Then you'll just gather one tile at a time. Here, you expand in every direction as soon as the culture goes up. So look, if you see there, the corner, at 15, my save will expand its cultural borders. I'm getting 2+2 culture per turn, as you can see in the tooltip at the side there. So in 3 turns, you will see an expansion, and see exactly what I mean. Now, another reason I'm going to write this out right now. Civ 5 introduced the unique element of your cities, and hang on, let me start that again. It introduced the element of your cities being able to fire back. Civ 4 did not have this. In Civilization 4, if you want your city to be kept, you will have to put at least one military unit in the city. I recommend something good, preferably. And as you saw a second ago, a new diplomacy screen, it's different. Civ 5 has the ability to fill up your entire screen, and you have no idea what your relations are if you get offered a deal, so like a declaration of friendship. Here, for example, it will come up with a ratio and an amount of points, both positive and negative, which you can yourself total up, or you can go to the diplomacy screen to see it. To see exactly how the civ offering you a deal, or you're offering the deal to that civ, thinks about you. So you can see whether it will be accepted or not. Diplomacy is basically the same otherwise. And another thing, you will have a tribal village, which is just a relic. It's the same thing, basically. And as you can see, it expanded in every direction, it was like diagonally. So I now have a bunch of more borders. Before it was like here, and now I have 9 extra tiles. Or 12, I can't count. Right, okay. So there's Stonehenge unlocked, but I can't really do anything on that until I have a worker. So I'm going to go for theology. Which will get me which will get me Christianity. Now, religions is present in Civ 4 as well, except you can't actually customize it. Your religion is fixed to what it is, and the first person to unlock the tech where the religion is gets that religion. So, for example, if I want to research theology, I have to discover it first if I want Christianity. And the same is for Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam, and Taoism. I think I may be missing one, I'm not sure. I'll be all of them. But, yeah, that's basically it. See, there's Buddhism. Somebody else has found it because they've discovered meditation first. So even if I discover meditation now, I can't found it because it's already been found. And where is it? Religious screens. There we go. Confucianism as well. These are all the religions you have, and they are fixed. What they are. There's no like special sort of like powers or perks for every religion. They do increase your culture and build or gold, whatever it is. It depends. And it will give you a list of the cities which are and are not converted to that. So it can be helpful, and it will give you a list of exactly what's affected. But you know, it's not as that's one thing I'll give credit to Civ 5 for. It does a better job of the religions, but it is a little more customization, means a little more, you know, unbalanced. I don't know. Anyway, enough of me babbling. 3 turns for a worker, 2 turns pottery, so I can build a cottage. Right, another thing to notice is, okay, the basic bit, the tile improvements are exactly the same. You can build mines, you can build camps, you can build cottages, which is just basically a trade outpost that just brings you gold, and that slowly expands over time as well, by the way. But you have things like in Civ 5 you have great scientists, where you can move to a tile, say here, and it will build an academy. You get a bit of science there. In Civ 4, if you get a great scientist and you want to build an academy, it does it in the city instead. You build it in the city. So that can be better, because it means your tiles won't get ruined. Now, I actually want to build bronze working because I need to chop down trees in order for that to work. But I'm going to build a mine. I should already have mining, shouldn't I? I hope I do. Yes, I do. I'll get me more production. Now, another thing to notice, you probably caught a glimpse of it earlier, is the city screen. It's a bit different. It is significantly different. But these little circly things here are exactly the same as the little fixed icons, the little person icons you see on the various tiles in Civ 5. It's just a different form. I don't know if it's the same amount of tiles out for how many tiles you can now have. I haven't played this in a long time, but yeah, it's basically the same thing, and you can manage it as you will, as you want to. So what do I want to do? Yeah, let's leave it like that. Let's get better growth in. Now, I can build roads. Roads is free in this game as well, by the way. Railroads and roads are free. They don't screw over those who sit on the middle of the land, which Civ 5 does rather badly. Building a mine. Mine. Now another thing to notice is the Civics screens. Now here, you will have... In Civ... Okay, let me start that again. In Civ 5, you have a set amount of... like policies. You can adopt policies whenever you increase your culture. And you're fixed to that policy until the end of the game. Now here, you can adopt whatever type of civic you want. They're basically the same thing. You can do it on the fly. But, as I will show in a minute, or in a bit, whenever it finally comes, it will cost you maybe a turn or two. Because in order to get to that civic, you need to go through a revolution. I can't change any civics right now because I haven't looked at anything else. But each civic differs with the upkeep. So like, tribalism is low upkeep, so is serfdom and impossication. But things like system and slavery are both medium upkeep, so they cost a bit more gold. And same things go over here. You have high upkeep as well for police state and stuff like that. So that's another thing to notice. It's very different as far as policies go. Civics. Civ 5 basically rewrote it altogether. I like to build roads everywhere in my in Civ 4 because I can get to move around a bit quicker and it doesn't cost me anything. I was actually rather surprised that that was actually not possible in Civ 5, to be honest. Another cottage later. Did that. Mine there. Gonna build that road. So things are going well. I'm gonna grow the city first, and then I'm gonna build so I can a bit faster. Yep, so, there we go. Build a mine here. There we go. So, look, 1 turn for revolution. Revolution basically means that for 1 turn, your civ will come to a halt as far as growth is concerned. Build, growth, research, it all comes to basically a grinding halt. Research is actually very minimal, but it may as well have come to a halt. And it will take you a turn, or how many ever turns it takes to get to that policy. The higher the actual civic in the tree, going down obviously, the longer it will take to do the revolution. And of course if you do more, the longer it will add up. It will all add up all together. Now I'm going to start getting theology. That is good. So anarchy for 1 turn. Look how many turns it's going to take writing to do. 174. Yeah, that's what I mean. Production is nil, and so is growth. But it immediately restarts because my revolution is gone. But I've adopted a new policy. So you will have to put that with a few turns. Because, you know, people don't like change. It's a good reflection of what actually may happen. Or at least what would actually happen. At least I think so. Now you'll get these screens once in a while as well. It's like, say, this one is like the most advanced civilization in the world, some would be like the most cultured, the wealthiest, the most powerful, things like that. I like to be the pathetic, because I'm not exactly the most advanced person in the world at the moment, but I'm hoping to get to the top soon. Forests do exactly the same thing. There's a lot of the basic things are exactly the same. I kept a lot of things for that. It'll take me 5 turns to get down that forest, and it'll... that might be worth it, actually. I'll need a bit of land anyway. I have a lot of forests. Oh yes. I want to get that tribe as well. I forgot about that. They've given me a new tech. They gave me sailing. I don't have to research it now. That's good. Yay, Stonehenge! So, I'm somewhere in the bottom right of the map, apparently. I don't see any fish. There's actually a clam over there. Yes, that is a clam. What's the growth rate on that? Yeah, let's build a lighthouse. Lighthouses actually does exactly the same thing. I didn't realise that. Right, okay, so farming. Now, just a bit of farms are slightly different. You can't just build them anywhere you want. You have to build them next to a river. Once you discover basically one of the very first sections of the game. Once you can build a farm, you can either build them next to a river, the sea, or any sort of water tile. So you can have like one water tile, like here, for example, and you're going to build a farm around it. Until you research irrigation, later on in the game, you cannot build a farm anywhere else. But once you research irrigation, you can link the farms further in. So, for example, if I want to build a farm here, here, no, actually, that's a bad example because that's already corn. Say on this mine, just because. Right, I would have to build one there, right? Ignoring that fact that the river goes that way. I would have to build one here, and then I could build one here, because irrigation would go straight through it. So that's the way it works. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna build a road for every forest, so it's easy to get to them for when I do choppy stuff to get more wonders. It's all good. By the way, this video is going to run for 30 minutes as opposed to the normal 20, because this is the first video. My board is expanded again, that's good. Get the lighthouse out of the way and done with. I have a little button. no longer forces you to do it. You can press that button whenever you want. You don't actually have to wait for something to occur or have a timer in the game. You can just press the button whenever you want. You don't have to do everything on that turn. Which I find is a very nice feature indeed. Which I find rather retarded they removed in Civ 5, by the way. It looks like it's only 2 tiles out for Civ 4. I'm not sure yet. I'll expand a bit further a bit later. Mercenaries done in 2 turns, so I might as well research that at the research farm. Why haven't I research farm yet? That's a very good question. Dairy. Agriculture. That's always good. There's my lighthouse, sticking in the middle of the sea. Okay, so I can build... Let's build the Great Wall, because unlike Civ 5, Great Wall just slows enemies, or barbarians. Civ 4's Great Wall completely prevents barbarians from entering borders on the continent. Completely. It disables the ability. I build the Great Wall, barbarians cannot reach me. So that's why I want it. Drop it down the forest. So it's going to build quite a lot faster actually. Scroll in for a few times anyway. Oh, that forest I just chopped down earlier is grown back again. That's actually rather very lucky because it means I can chop it down again and get a bit more build. I like it. So I've researched farms. Farms? I've got farms? Yep. No, I said it rather badly, didn't I? Wheat. Now I've got wheat because I've built the city on the wheat itself. I'm going to build that a bit faster. I'll build a farm. There's Judaism. Of course, Hinduism was founded earlier. Open borders. Yeah. Here's a piece of strength in our relations. Right. Okay. So that's another good thing to see. See, actually, I'll move my camera out of the way. See it there, in the left corner. Left side of the screen there. Here's a piece of strength and relations. You will have plus and minuses, I've mentioned earlier. This is a proper example. You can add these and total these up as more gets on. You can even see what religion they adopted. So Montezuma is the founder of Judaism, so he's got the founder of Judaism symbol right next to him. Got a little star and the Judaism symbol there, obviously. It'll even come up with what type of civics that other civs have chosen as well. And you will have the occasionally these pop-ups unless you turn them off. I've chosen to put them on because sometimes it can actually be a good reminder. There's the Great Wall. Now, the Great Lighthouse, I think. Farm here. That's right next to a river tile and a water tile. It's pretty natural. And you will have occasional random events as well. So, unfortunately, the Aztecs had a very bad encounter with a storm. Things are just, like you see, like my borders, my Great Wall just appears right around the border now. The barbarians can't enter it, so I'm safe. So until I'm at war, I'm completely safe from it, actually. Build the farm around here. I'm just going to build farms around this river. Should probably be chopping down a forest rather than building a farm. Largest civilization in the world. Alex will be the hopeless because I've only got one city. Right, this is another example of it. You can choose whatever you do, and of course these things will be blanked out depending on what you have or haven't, in this case haven't got. So I can't subtract gold from my treasury because I don't have any gold. So I can either crack down the rebels and put down the revolt, but it does 1 turn of disorder and some unhappiness in the capital, and -2 pop, which I don't need right now. And I don't want minus pop, so I'm going to just leave it. I don't need minus population. Go away. Stop it. I know I'm a terrible person. I think I stopped now, that's alright then. Organized religion. Can build missionaries with honesty, city states with whatever religion it is, that's the religion symbol. Can construct 25 buildings, 25% 25% faster, that's always good. That's really very good. Road. And my borders expand again! Every time I want to reload this game, the Great Wall is going to go wherever it is. Wherever my borders are, but it doesn't auto-update every time, so these tiles are still safe, it's just it's not physically there. Which is kind of weird. Oh, great profit. Now I'm going to save the great profit. Great profits don't really work the same way. I can discover a tech to whatever that profit is, so like it'll be meditation, religious tech, because you know it is religious tech. I can start a golden edge with it, and of course that increases every time you use it. So if I use it for this one, it would take 2 next time, and 3, and so on. I can join the cities of great profit and produce. It gives it a little perk, so a bit of production, a bit of gold, or I can construct a holy building in whatever the city's holy city is for that religion. So when I get Christianity, I can build the Church of Nativity. So I'm going to put you to sleep now because I don't have a religion yet. So I'll get these great house in a few turns. Research of tin has been covered on the hills. Yeah! I got tin! I got more production on that. That's always really good. Great lighthouse next time. There we go. Great lighthouse. Great lighthouse. I know, I should have shown this cutscene for Stonehenge, but sorry. I wasn't thinking at the time, I was too busy babbling my head off. Right. Now we can work on expanding. First, I want to build a barracks. Because that'll give me more production, more experience for my units, rather. Right, so things are going well. Oh, somebody else has built the oracle, damn it. I want to go this way. So I'm going to build a road over here, so I have a direct link. I'm not entirely sure how connecting cities works in Civ 4, I can't remember. But I'll go build a settler rather. Now, both settlers and workers, when you're building them, I forgot to mention this earlier, will completely halt growth altogether. So I'm going to try and just divert everything to this. Without starving my Civ. That was never a good idea. Deal. Oh, +2 for upper borders. See? They like me already. And the religion will spread automatically, basically. Depending on if any units go near it, or you send a unit near it, or whatever. It will spread it. There are missionaries that can spread it as well. But Great Prophets aren't, you know, as overpowering as they are in Civ 5. They're just little perks. Quite a lot of planes over there, isn't there? Another warrior to defend it. I'll send this warrior with it, so the city doesn't get, you know, assaulted. Hey. And I want a library to increase my science. Let's go over here then. Strength. So, this has been Civ 4. We'll continue next time, where we will expand for the second city. And I will see you next time.